What is happening, guys? I just wanted to make this video today because a lot of people do not make their videos where they make their emblems very personable. So, I'm actually going to take you through this step by step and give you guys a proper little tutorial, I guess, on probably the easiest emblem I've ever made, and probably one of the most interesting, to say the least. I haven't seen this done, so I figured I might as well do it myself. So here we go. We're going to start basically right here at the background. This is basically, I just throw whatever square in the background, make it a color so it's easy to tell, black and white, and of course all that shit. But after that, you're going to start on the hands. So here's the hand start. You're going to make this shape right here. Make sure it's black. You're going to have it located right in that position and right in that scale. These are all pretty easy to make. I didn't really fuck with a lot of the scales on a lot of the parts, but some of them you are going to have to adjust, so there's that part. Of course, the next part, scale, again 115, 115, position -102, 76. Next finger, -99, 84, scale, -141 by -129, and the rotation 64. I keep forgetting to say that, but yeah, the rotation is 64. Just make sure you keep an eye on all this stuff because every one of them are pretty important to make it look right. And the last finger, alright. Now, after you get those, that's just basically for the outline, so you're going to start on the actual fingers themselves, the yellow fingers. And this is for the bottom finger on the left hand side. Make sure you get all those numbers dead on, spot on. Pause the video if you need to make sure you got them in the right spot. Move on to the second. I'm going to try and move a little quicker on these so I don't have to take up all your time, but I'm going to at least try and tell you if there's anything real important that you got to make sure you do. Alright. Well, enjoy the video, guys. I hope you guys actually like this Master Shake. It's not perfect, sure, it's not, but it looks damn close, and it looks pretty good to me for a quick Call of Duty emblem with 50 emblems, or 50 characters, whatever the hell you want to call it, layers. And I would say that it takes a lot to do the 3D ones, but this one is a very simple 2D one, and I'll come back with a few 3D ones that are actually a lot of work to do. So just stay tuned to my channel. I'll bring out quite a few more emblem videos because I do a lot of them in my free time, and I've never actually made a video for them. So just keep on the lookout. If you like this video, if you make this emblem, definitely give me a like, subscribe, anything you want, and there's definitely going to be more to come if this blows up pretty well. I'm sure there's not a lot of people that are looking for a Master Shake, but there are plenty of people that just want to be able to make a cool emblem and not have to work hard for it. And Master Shake is one way to do it. So, thanks again, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. If I see anything that I need to comment on, I'll definitely make a comment. I appreciate it. had to pop in here real quick just to make sure you guys see this. You got to make sure you get that color right, or at least close to it. Doesn't have to be exactly this, because my color is not exactly the color of his straw. It's just the closest I could get to it without making it super bright pink or some shit. But yeah, that's 173, 97, 143. Just make sure you get that one, because if not, you're going to have it looking weird, because I just used the stock colors when I originally did it, and it didn't look right. So, make sure you do that. And then, more or less all these, you can just copy and paste them. Like, this is the same thing as this, basically. So, just remember that. You should be able to copy and paste a lot of this shit, like a lot of the hands, all the shadowing and stuff. Some of them might be skinnier than the next, like the last two fingers usually are skinnier, but with most of it, you're just able to copy and paste it and keep stacking shit up if they're all similar. Like with the eyes, they're both identical. All the shapes inside are all identical, so it's really all a matter of lining shit up and making sure it all looks right. And again, with this, go to the color mixer, make sure it's the right color. If you copy and paste it, you shouldn't have a problem. It should be the right color already. Yeah, so after that, you got these little kind of shiny stripes, make a straw look a little more dimensional. And the way I like to do these is I'll make the opacity down a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, to where you can just barely see them in there, to where they give it a little color, but it still kind of gives it a pink shine. Alright, you see that? 70% opacity, rotation 340. Remember, keep an eye on all those things up there, because they are all very important to make it look right. If you get them slightly off, it may look kind of weird. I mean, it doesn't look perfect to begin with, but you don't want them to be off, or else it'll look really off. Another shiny thing, again, we're going to make the opacity down to 70, just so it matches the other side. Makes it look a little more 3D, I guess. After that, we're going to move on, start on the body shape. Now that we got the straw and the hands done, they hide behind his big old cup, so here's the cup. And you're going to want to make sure you get these numbers correctly for the scale, the rotation, everything is exactly the way you need it, or else it's going to look weird. I'm telling you now. I've played with the shape of his body quite a few times, and this is about the best you can make it look without it looking just kind of awkward, I guess. So, just do what you can with my numbers here, and again, I'll pop in if I see something that you guys may need to know. that you got that shape done, make sure you get the color wheel right here. Or the mixer, whatever the hell you want to call it. 255, 255, 220. It's a pretty easy one. Just kind of off-white, so he doesn't look weird whenever his eyes are lined up next to his white body. Alright. Then again, you're going to want to copy and paste these things and make sure they're just in the right spot, because more or less their scale is always going to be about the same. So, that way the eyes don't look all fucked up. They may have been scaled a little bit different just to make it all line up correctly, but it's more or less just maneuvering things to make sure they look right whenever they're all sitting together, is if they're a little off. Again, this one is going to be one of the ones that you're going to have to hit that color wheel again. Make sure you got them all lined up, and on to the next. The eyes, I wanted to make them almost look cross-eyed whenever I did it the first time, so be careful of that. Make sure whenever you do it, you got one of the whites of his eyes, like in the middle. You want one of those on the left, and like basically both of those are gonna be toward the left-hand side, but you gotta leave that little gap so it looks correct, you know what I mean? Like he's got light shining in his eye from the top. Give him a little source of light. A reason for all this shading, I suppose. Again, you see how this one is just slightly off to this side. This white one right here is just slightly to the left instead of the right. I'm going to give it a little more rotation, but it's going to be more to the left so you can tell the light source is coming from top left. And after that one, you're going to want to just basically move on. Oh, sorry. Almost moved that to the wrong spot. Move on to his mouth. This is all easy stuff beyond. Whenever you get his hands and eyes done, you're golden. You got everything done. The rest is just some detail work in his mouth. And his mouth is really easy. Just make sure you use the right shape whenever you do it, because it's that little hoop looking thing, I guess, instead of the squared off edge one. Because if you use the squared off edge one, it's not going to look right. It's going to look like the pieces that are on the sides of his mouth, and they get like misshapen for some reason. But as long as you use the right piece, the same piece that I used on his eyebrow and all that, you're going to be good. But it's all pretty well easy. Now these are the ones with the squared edge on the top, basically. And they're obviously, every one of these pieces are solid. You don't have to worry about any opacity until the end of the actual thing, so I'll make sure I go over that. Just more or less making him a cheesy little face to go with his cheesy little hands there. But it's all relatively easy stuff. I make sure try to take a little time so you have time to pause the video in between each one. because they're all pretty easy. After you make one or two of them, you pretty much are just copying and pasting them. Like this one right here is the same as the next one. The scale is just slightly different. See, it's the same exact thing, so at least more or less you're gonna have a easy time putting this together. It's not a bunch of crazy shading like a lot of the 3D ones I'm gonna be making later on. So you shouldn't have a hard time with this. Just trying to make sure I give you guys enough time to check over all the numbers before I move on to the next one, because I don't want it to be like the rest of these videos where they just play some corny ass song in the background and shove through this shit super speed like you can't even fucking keep up with it. I want you to be able to see the picture, not just be guessing what the hell is about to happen. I want you to see how it all fits together. So at least with this case you can see all these little shapes where they line up. This one, you're going to want to make sure you have the opacity correct, the color picker. You're going to want to go all the way down to here on the blue category, like the light bluish colors, not the dark blue. You'll pick this color here and make sure the opacity is at 50%. Make sure you get your numbers correct on that, your rotation correct, because a lot of it is the rotation in it. Alright, and now we're on to the last little bit of details. So here's the hole for the straw up there. It's slightly different colored, so just be careful. I'm gonna make sure I go to the color mixer so you can see all that too. This one, like I said, this one is slightly different. I just picked like a random pink color and went into the color mixer. And there's your numbers for that. It's where you get that color at least pretty close. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, you can make your own colors if you feel that you can make the color better than me. I just threw a color in there to where it looked good enough. Like I said, this isn't 100% perfect. This is just a good looking Master Shake, so I wanted to share it so everybody else could make Master Shake, because I hadn't seen him yet. Alright, and then make sure you got those numbers, rotation and all. So we'll move on to the last couple here. This little hoop there around the outside. Which I may actually move a little bit inward. There we go. Sorry about that. Forgot you might want to see the new numbers on that. Again, make sure your rotation's always correct. And we're on to the last piece. Another little hoop just to make one of the wrinkles at the top. I didn't want to do the full wrinkles because that would have took me forever. So I just kind of threw that on, and it looks alright, I think. As far as I can tell, it's about the most detailed you can get with a two-dimensional character. I'm going to go back after I finish that, and I'm going to change the opacity on these white pieces here. See if I can get them a little darker. Put them down to 70. 60 will work. Yeah. And we'll go up to 75 on this one. It'll be a little brighter. So again, this one's getting 75 on number 45, and number 44 is getting 60% opacity. Now from there, you still have quite a few spaces. You have an extra 13 spaces. You can put letters in the background. You can actually give it a good background. Anything you want to do, basically. I just haven't gone that far yet. I'm giving you guys a basic shape to do with what you please. Make it your own. And I really hope that a lot of people use this, because Master Shake's always a good thing to see in a lobby. But I hope everything works out for you guys. I hope everything looks good. I'm gonna play with a couple things here, see if I can make it look a little different. Okay, I kinda like that. So if you guys want to decide to do that, number 49, I just shaded it down to 70%. Just to give it a little bit of depth. But again, if you guys like these videos, if you guys want to see some more emblem videos, how I throw these things together, then definitely give me some likes, some subscribes. Let me know in the comments what you guys may want to see next. I got a few 3D images that I might throw out for you, and I hope that these things will bring a little traffic to the channel, because I can always use some new people, new faces to watch my videos, new people to play with online, anything. But again, definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, or if this helped you in any way, or if you just wanted something to laugh at, because this is always fun to see Master Shake. But thanks a lot, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed.